Hi there, welcome to some breaking news within the Noah Presgrove case. Quite a lot has gone down recently online, once again, ranging from the case discussion page to the official justice one, in which Robin Smith has called out indirectly people in regard to a supposed fundraiser GoFundMe, which is not official but is going on in the background. Then you got Michael Fazekas acknowledging it as well, but then there's some random person in the comments elsewhere with a screenshot suggesting that Michael Fazekas is maybe behind it. What the hell's going on there? You got Bingham as well, more active than ever with posts left, right and centre, and talking about the OHP with their activity levels on the case. I'm going to be showing portions of it today, or maybe pieces, and then break it up in separate videos so it's just more focused. Welcome to those in the live premiere. Share your thoughts, reactions in the live chat on the right side of the screen. You got any comments or questions, drop them down below in the comment section. You'll find a pinned message by me with additional links like PayPal if you want to support the channel. And you can find the full playlist of the case coverage by me, top right corner where the I symbol is. Let's get straight into it right now. This particular post is by Robin Smith, the Noah Presgrove related family member, 22 hours ago on the Justice page. Reads, in light of some things that are going on, we just want people to know that there are only 2 GoFundMes approved by our family. Both are in the pinned post on this page. Please stay vigilant of anyone trying to scam you. Thank you. So it's rather vague, this, suggesting that there could be others out there scamming, but who exactly? The most important sentence is the beginning. In the light of some things that are going on. More than one thing. But it's vague. What has been going on recently? Well, the situation with Noah's project, Michael Fazekas, the KSW7 or KSW07 News responsible for interviewing Michael and doing some coverage. And Michael saying, well, we're working alongside Noah's family. And then some of Noah's family members who may not be immediate family members, they're the most vocal ones. These extended people like Robin and Ashley Chadwick speaking out and not too pleased with the news coverage and getting it taken down. So that's the type of stuff that has gone on recently. But is there anything else? We have a brief look at some of the comments, of course. There is a screenshot there, which we'll get to. Cindy, don't know who that person is. I personally can't afford to donate. Okay. You got Deborah Smith as well, I think the grandmother to Noah Presgrove. Bobby, that's very sad that other people are trying to take advantage of others of somebody's death. Shame on you, whomever is doing this. And Ashley Chadwick, the cousin to Noah Presgrove, says, sadly, in more ways than one. So not only are people taking advantage of someone's death and maybe through monetary gain, but on top of that, what else? What other ways? Well, I guess Ashley Chadwick is indirectly referring to Michael Fazekas, considering Ashley had quite a bit to say about Michael in recent time and the situation also with KSW News. So there is that. But the one that stands out here, and we might as well acknowledge it right now, Cindy Hansen, never heard of before. What the hell is this all about? A screenshot of some sort? Is this Gmail? One message, conversation with Michael Fazekas, a ticket, Stark GoFundMe, 2 Michael Fazekas, Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Hello, Michael. This is Stark from the customer care team, and I will be happy to help you out. I would like to let you know that you don't have a fundraiser relating to Noah Presgrove with this address. Hope to assist you further. Do feel free to get in touch with us whenever you need any further help. Regards, Stark. Right. Learn about 4 key actions for your GoFundMe. So some of it has been blanked out because that's out of respect for someone's privacy. As for one of the emails, I get that. That's fine. But what's this supposed to highlight? That it's let slip that there is some kind of GoFundMe that Michael Fazekas has set up at some point? Does it correlate with the Noah project? Or is it Michael inquiring about GoFundMe? It does say that you, Michael, don't have a fundraiser relating to Noah Presgrove. with this particular email address. Okay, so not that anything has been suggested yet, and Noah's family hasn't said anything yet, but I guess maybe amongst discussions elsewhere, people are suggesting or highlighting that Michael is behind it, and the family aren't too pleased with it, and it could be scammy type behaviour. But this particular screenshot kind of indicates that Michael has nothing to do with it, at least with this address. You gotta read in between the lines and the words. It kind of implies that this particular email address has no correlation to Noah Presgrove, a fundraiser, but if you've got another email somewhere else, there is a chance, a possibility. So besides that, we need to look at the reaction by Michael Fazekas. This particular post by Michael on the case discussion group 20 hours ago, I repost screenshot from Robin's post, what we saw just before. Michael says, I haven't seen any other GoFundMe campaigns trying to collect donations for Noah. However, this was posted on the Justice page. Just a reminder for everyone, the only official donation links are on the Justice for Noah page. Robin wants it to be very clear where all the donations go, ... And what's interesting about this, if you didn't know about all the background stuff and attention, you would think that Michael Fazekas is on side with Noah's family. And from his point of view, that's the case, that's true, working alongside Noah's family. But some of Noah's family members detest Michael Fazekas, and for recent actions with the news coverage, the interview, going behind some of family members' backs and not reaching out properly. So it's a weird dynamic. It kind of reminds me in the past when I was doing my own thing, keeping to myself, and then you had Vanessa Salazar going about saying, oh yeah, I am married to Warlight Ref, and I'm thinking, don't be grouping me with you and one another, and etc., etc. And like the Dylan Rounds case as well, where people like to group me with others, and I'm like, don't you dare compare me to things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessary. So, interesting display what's going on here. But we will also acknowledge the odd other thing. Beth Carr with a link to some petition. Is this to do with Noah's project? Possibly. An important one here, though, by Kathy Bingham. There are some other comments elsewhere to acknowledge, and we'll get to that maybe in a later video. Kathy, 47 minutes ago, and granted, the comments, there was only 21. There will be more later, but I'm already recording, so just know that. Kathy says, please be respectful. Let the family handle their business. I understand that everyone is just wanting to help, and the family is truly grateful. But sometimes things need to be handled carefully. Sometimes not everything can be put out into the public. Of course, the case is extremely complicated. Well, for it to go on this long and uncertainty, I'd agree. As we continue moving forwards, everyone is getting anxious about the social hosting law. I'm not. I don't know why we have to group everyone together yet again. I'm not anxious. You know, I've highlighted the patterns and trends already, you know, because the thing is with warlike realistic wrath, okay, I will acknowledge the darkness. Oh, well, the little pretty sides. No. The realisticness, right? But the reality is when it comes to the social hosting laws, if there was no death, but rules and laws are still broken for underage drinking, people wouldn't bat an eyelid. And at the time I said it, people's reactions, oh, you're so cold. Oh, why are you saying this? It's because I'm being realistic, unlike other people. It's as simple as that. How many more parties have occurred since and before where rules and laws were broken, but families about and nearby laughed it off? Just people having fun, people being young and dumb. It is what it is. We did it as well. Oh, but then at a certain point in time when it finally doesn't click with you, oh, now it's a problem. But if it was a problem earlier on and action was taken, then maybe later wouldn't have happened, right? People pick and choose with time in terms of what's acceptable and what's not. It could be unacceptable all the way through, but it just does not impact them at points. So it's okay. I will turn a blind eye. Oh, it's fine. It happens. Because this particular party with Noah Presgrove, ever since elsewhere with other people, there will be social hosting laws broken left, right and centre. And is there a call to arms and action all over there? No. Oh, is it because there was no death? No death, but it still breaks rules and laws. It depends how strict you want to go. And that's the thing with humans. It can be a little bit indecisive at times. Very interesting. Anyway, moving on. Sam, the family is very aware of everything. Things are being done that OHP are working on, and they cannot and will not release any information until they're finished. The family has nothing to hide, but they can't say anything until they have been given facts from LE. So again, please be respectful. Let the family handle the case. And in terms of how the family appear, in terms of their behaviour, their attitude, they come across as if they're in the same boat as the general public, and that's pretty pathetic. They should be more deserving of some kind of intel and information and updates compared to the general public. And if they're in the same boat as us, what does that say? You get what I mean? See, the Dylan Rounds case, as dodgy as that was, the family did get information and they couldn't always release it. But they at least acknowledged it in interviews and said, when the time is right and when it's possible, we will release it. There have been things said and stuff in the background and communication, but we cannot release it at this moment in time. Is that the same type of lines, jargon that has been used by Noah's family in recent time, if not longer? No, they've just been saying, well, there's no updates at this moment. We've not heard from the police. We've not really heard anything. Well, that's not good, is it? Right? So, I'll read some comments out if they do stand out. Of course, you can always pause it if you need to. Everyone in the group, this is the update we have been wanting, requesting and some demanding for the ones who have been so rude. Perhaps this is why the updates are hard to get. This was not labelled a question and answer session. I sincerely hope this rudeness stops immediately. Please don't want it, just don't want it to go cold. I don't think it will. Too much publicity, says Kathy Bingham. Yeah. Because it's still being talked about now. And, the reality is, you will get a big YouTuber or TikToker that comes on by in the future that may cover this case if it's still ongoing. And out of nowhere, you will get boost and burst. Now, yeah, granted, in all honesty, my coverage is consistent in terms of statistically, more so in recent time, consistently shit. But regardless, there are still things that need to be covered and acknowledged. And hopefully down the line, maybe other people and viewers come back, return and, listening with the recent research, if so. But, the predictions that I've always made is the most breaking news comes about when most people have given up on the case and moved on because it's got too boring. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's just reality. But for the ones that stick around, shout out to them. It always makes me laugh in the past, though. Oh, I remember a particular individual. Oh, I remember the term stamina. And where are they at? Nowhere to be seen. As I said, since day fucking one, it does not matter what case it is. True crime, missing person, or mystery related. It's a stamina war. Not everyone has that. It's a stamina war for creators, a stamina war for the victim's family, a stamina war for viewers as well who watch along and listen in and hope for a future outcome. Boundaries. When is the truth coming out? Thought it was coming per your words, and let's just see what's mentioned here, because this is where the more important part is, and there's Bit of a thread. When is the truth coming out? And Kathy says, why are you being so rude? Maybe there was a misunderstanding with wording. Kathy, when OHP has finished their investigation. I'm not sure how I'm being rude. I didn't capitalise, just asked a simple question. At times, you can ask things, you can question stuff, and you can be villainised for it. There's no escape from that. But in your investigations, you zoned on 2 kids. Who were they? Are OHP on the same 2 kids as well? Or was that for interviews? I think I roughly remember that, where Kathy Bingham may have made a reference, or someone made a reference on behalf, or a transcript, that Kathy had interviewed 2 party goers and either believed that they could be dodgy or innocent, and then maybe there was another set of 2, another pair possibly. Anyway, Kathy, okay, well, I've been in contact with OHP and they have assured me that they're still working on the case. As you would hope, right? There's so much more that any of us knew was involved, so it's taking a lot longer than we thought. Let's just reread that. There is so much more that any of us knew was involved. Right. What? So you mean that more than what we expected in regard to who is involved in Noah's death? Is this suggesting highlighting foul play once again? Possible murder? Or just witnesses to something? Kathy, this is what OHP told me last night. And in fairness, it's a screenshot with not much context. You've got to take their word for it. Look, I'm trying to be as realistic as I can because I am fully aware there will be outsiders that will say, so what? It's a screenshot. Do we see the context? No. Do we see the responses? No. Do we see the name or the profile picture of the person talking in the first place, typing? No. So you've just got to make do with what you've got on screen. OHP is working the case and will be in touch with Noah Presgrove's family when it's complete. And how long will that be? But I'm directing the question to you, not OHP. Laura, she isn't being rude. Dakota, I didn't know it was a she. Just reiterating what you said a long time ago. How is that so? Did Kathy Bingham say something bold in the past? I cannot say who they are, and I've turned in all my information over to OHP, and so I can't speak on what OHP has done. Okay. Anything else? Anita K, thank you again for updating us. Please do not let the behaviour of 1 or 2 keep you from other updates. I do get that. There is a level of delicacy, there's a level of bit of a fragile nature that you want to handle the case as best as you can. You want to be careful. And so does the general public, because if you push any important people away, you might deny yourself of learning about the case and maybe even harming the case in general. So that was just a little update to highlight what's going on in recent time. There are a few other posts, but I thought I would leave them separate so people could concentrate in them more, and I'll get to that shortly. However, there was another video that was going to be done. As important as it is, it was delayed slightly until whenever is needed, because more material and a bit of evidence is needed. See, not in this particular situation, but the level of when one or people get excited, that's what can cause problems, but not done with intent or harm. See, if a case goes dry and it feels like it's not going anywhere, then you get a little taste or touch of material. You think, oh, maybe I can use this. Maybe it supports a certain point or debunks somebody else. It needs to be expressed and published and talked about. That if people are very passionate as it can be, and as good as it is, too much, too quick, too fast, you may jump the gun. And it may lead to mistakes being made, a slip up, a misunderstanding, and then it can harm the case. It could cause mass confusion. And there would have been times in the past which I've witnessed, which I may be on the receiving end of, which I've tried adapting to. and then I've seen others as well. It's unfortunate it can happen. In this particular case, well, it has happened. And I've seen it on and off, and what I've tried doing since is maintain a level of control, as in, right, is everything there? Is everything on display? Have you checked the small fine print, double checking it, and so on? See, I still won't forget that time when it came to the army page, when it came to Justin Roy and that JJ Bumpass TikTok scenario, which originally came from Kaylee Tree, also known as True Crime Deep Dive, the one from the Dylan Rounds case, supposedly responsible for doing some research, passed on to Justin Roy. Justin Roy passed it on to me, all confident, and it definitely backfired. And since then, adaptation has taken place, because I will not allow humans to drag me down. But besides that, I think we'll leave it there for now. Hopefully you found it somewhat interesting. Granted, not everybody has access to these Facebook pages or has a Facebook account, hence why I'm doing this awareness, so then passing it on to you. You can see yourself and making some possible links along the way, because from what we've seen today, the family or some family members spreading awareness amongst issues going on still, and scams and dodgy practices. Michael Fazekas in agreement with them and acknowledging it, but then some random person with a weird Gmail screenshot, someone responding to Michael in regard to a fundraiser, GoFundMe. What's that all about? I wonder. Maybe time will tell. If there's any updates, well, then they can follow. My name's Wally Rath. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye for now.